Hello, I'm Father Kurt. I'd like to talk a little bit more about the 5-minute prayer, building your prayer. It is really important to incorporate your family as soon as you can into your prayer, especially we need to be thinking about our kids. As Anglicans, we baptize our children, which is consistent with the practice of the church for the last 2,000 years. Why do we do that? It's because when God gives us life, when he gives us a child, he's giving us a little disciple. Ready or not, here they come. They're going to watch you. They're going to see everything that you say and do, and they're going to model that. And so we have that responsibility, and we make this vow, this commitment in their baptism to train them up in the way that they shall go. And even when they're older, if because they will have free will, if they decide to depart from the way, they will always have that scripture. They will always have that truth in their heart that condemns their sin and points them back to Christ, the only place where they can find redemption, where they can find forgiveness of sins and true peace and life. And so it's very important for you to have a time of prayer with your kids. It's the best place to put this is in the morning, normally, before they go off to school. You can do the 5-minute morning prayer, and then for the reading, instead of doing the reading out of the Gospels, go ahead and get this book. This is Sacred Stories of the Old and New Testament, selected for children. This is put out by a friend of mine, Father Jarrett. It's an excellent resource. It is scripture, but it's the narrative portions of scripture in selections that are about 2 minutes to read that goes from the very beginning of scripture to the very end. So it starts with the creation of the world all the way to the renewal of the world with the New Jerusalem. So it is really wonderful. It takes out all of the parts that are inappropriate for children, and it gives them that breadth of understanding of the overall meta-narrative, the overall story of Scripture, how God created us, how we fell, and how he redeemed us, and he will renew all things. And so I really recommend this. It's a great, great thing, not only for kids, but also for new believers, and to remind us who have been believers for a while of the big story, because all the little things need to fit in that big story for them to make sense. So again, you can get this on Amazon. I think it's $1 for the Kindle version, but I recommend getting the actual printed, and add this to your morning prayer routine and add your children in as well. It's very, very important that you begin to have spiritual conversations with your children. You can read this story and then ask them a few questions to see what they've comprehended. And as you begin to cultivate this, it will bear fruit as they get older, as you've given them a space to safely ask questions so that you can have spiritual conversations about the things that matter most with your kids as they grow through their teen years and into adulthood. So start now when they're a kid, and it will bear great fruit later.